He wasn't lazy, he wasn't stupid, he was just distracted. One simple glass of water showed him what no teacher ever could, and it changed his future forever. In a quiet village surrounded by fields and narrow, dusty roads lived a young boy named Kabir. He was sharp, curious, and full of potential, but there was one struggle that followed him everywhere. Kabir could not focus. His mind never stayed in one place. It leaped from thought to thought, like a bird that refused to sit on a branch for more than a second. Whenever Kabir opened a book, his eyes would scan the words, but his thoughts would drift elsewhere. A sound outside, a game he wanted to play, or a message on his phone was enough to pull him away. Even when he promised himself he would concentrate, his attention slipped through his fingers before he realized it. Kabir's father noticed this pattern growing stronger each day. One evening, after watching his son abandon his studies yet again, he sat beside him and spoke gently. "My son," he said, "your mind is powerful, but right now it runs without direction. A mind without discipline is like a horse without reins. It doesn't matter how strong it is, it will take you wherever it wants, not where you need to go." Kabir listened, nodded, and forgot those words by the next morning. Not long after, a respected teacher known as Guruji arrived in the village. He was known for guiding young people, not through punishment, but through understanding. Seeing this as a chance, Kabir's father took him to meet the old teacher and explained his concern. Guruji looked at Kabir with calm eyes and smiled. Without saying much, he handed the boy a small glass filled to the brim with water. "Walk around my garden," Guruji said, "and return without spilling even a single drop." Kabir was confused. It sounded too easy. But as he began walking, the world around him grew loud. Birds fluttered overhead, leaves crunched underfoot. Other children laughed nearby. Each time Kabir glanced away, water sloshed over the edge. By the time he returned, the glass was barely half full. Guruji asked softly, "What happened?" Kabir lowered his head. "I kept getting distracted." Guruji nodded. "This glass is your purpose. The water is your attention. And the world around you will never stop making noise. If your mind keeps chasing every sound, every movement, you will lose what matters most slowly, without noticing." That moment stayed with Kabir. From the next day, he decided to change, but not all at once. He began with small promises, waking up at the same time each morning, keeping his phone away while studying, finishing one task before jumping to another. Each morning, he spent a few quiet minutes simply watching his breath, learning to bring his wandering mind back again and again. It wasn't easy. His thoughts still wandered, but this time, he noticed him gently pulled them back. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Slowly, something shifted. Kabir could sit longer. He understood lessons faster. His memory sharpened. Confidence replaced frustration. 1 year later, a national-level academic competition was announced. The challenges were difficult, and time was limited. Many students panicked under pressure. Kabir didn't. He faced each problem the same way he had learned to hold the glass, steady, focused, one moment at a time. When the results were announced, Kabir stood at the top. The village celebrated. Guruji smiled quietly. Kabir understood then that success hadn't come from talent alone, it came from mastering his attention. From that day on, Kabir was known not as the smartest boy in the village, but as the one who learned to control his mind. And here's the truth. If even a small part of the story stirred something inside you, don't ignore it. Inspiration fades when it's not acted upon. Like this video, share it with someone who needs this reminder. And stay with us, because the next story might reveal the one habit that silently decides whether your future slips away or finally stays in your hands. And the question is, what will you choose to focus on next? The moral of this story is simple but powerful. Talent means nothing without focus. The world will always be noisy, full of distractions pulling your attention in every direction. If you allow your mind to chase everything, you slowly lose what matters most, your growth and your potential. Discipline is not about forcing the mind. It is about training it gently, one moment at a time. When you learn to control your attention, even ordinary effort becomes extraordinary. Success does not come from intelligence alone, but from the ability to stay present, patient, and consistent despite distractions. In the end, the mind you master becomes the path that carries you forward. The world will never stop trying to distract you. The only real question is, what are you going to focus on next? Subscribe to Grandma Inspires for more meaningful life stories that shape the mind and heart.